Well, I want to welcome everyone here tonight. This is our financial aid forum. We are excited. We're here to share information on financial aid. Those of you that are seniors, it's a great opportunity to make sure you're aware of some things. Those of you that are freshmen, sophomore, juniors, it's not too early to prepare and learn some information. Just some housekeeping things. When the presenter come up shortly, I'm gonna ask that you mute your mics, jot down any questions. She's also gonna remind you of that. Anything you want to ask her, and pay good attention because she's gonna give you some good information. You should have packets at your site. Hopefully you receive those today. Um, but any questions, make sure you take a note of that, and she will definitely highlight that for you or answer those. We're going to have some other information toward the end to share with you. This session is being recorded, so if you did miss something, we'll make it available for you, hopefully on next week. And anyone that's not there, they can access this too. Um, we have some updates at the end to share with you, so be sure to pay attention to those as well. Okay? So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to turn it over to her. Go ahead and mute your mics. Her name is Cynthia Thornton. She's with the Federal Student Aid Office of the U.S. Department of Education. She's very knowledgeable. She's done presentations for us with our other programs, and we're thankful to have her here today. So give her full attention as she comes, okay?
Well, good evening, everyone. I know your mics are muted, but I would just like to welcome you this evening to this financial aid presentation, and let me go ahead and pull it up. Entitled the 2010-11 FAFSA on the Web and Your Financial Aid. Again, I am Cynthia Thornton. I'm a training officer at the U.S. Department of Education in the Dallas Regional Office. I joined Federal Student Aid in 2007 after serving for 21 years as a financial aid administrator. Now, most of my 21 years, I did serve as director of financial aid, and so I have a long history of working with the Upward Bound program at all of the institutions for which I've served. And so it is just my pleasure tonight to be able to come out and talk with you and give back to the community in which I live. So I would like to thank Richard and UT for giving me this opportunity. And it is very cool. This is my very first video conference. So it's kind of cool sitting there looking at you guys and being here. So hopefully everything will work out fine and I don't make any mistakes to get you guys off the screen. Now, we did FedEx, some handouts to you, and I trust that our 3 sites did receive them. You can unmute and just acknowledge that you do have your handouts. We shipped the 2009-10 Funding Your Education Beyond High School Guide. We shipped the FAFSA on the Web worksheet, and we shipped a copy of the presentation. So I trust that you did receive them this afternoon. We will be referencing them throughout the presentation. If you did not receive them, of course, they will arrive, and of course, this will be recorded, and you'll have an opportunity to go back and utilize them then. So here we have our agenda for this evening. Richard has given me about 45 minutes, not longer than an hour, he said. Cynthia, just if you could please talk to our group about completing the free application for federal student aid. So part 1, we'll talk about the FAFSA. When we get to the second part, you see I've entitled it, Show Me the Money. Once you do the FAFSA form, most students want to know, well, how much financial aid will I receive? And then on part 3, you see I have some information on scholarships. Again, I work with federal student aid, and so that'll be my primary focus, and I'm very fortunate tonight that we have Mr. Long, who will be coming behind me talking about scholarships, but I just thought I would be remiss if I didn't put any information there. So if my time permits, we'll talk about scholarships as well. So, most of you probably already know, but what is the FAFSA form? And we see here it's the free application for federal student aid. This form, which, can you see me holding it up? Maybe. This form.
Yes.
Okay, good, great. The free application for federal student aid is simply a form that's used to collect data to help determine your family's financial strength, your family's ability to pay for college. Form developed and drafted by Congress so that we can help see how you are best able to meet your college obligations. So free application for federal student aid. Once you've completed it, of course, it will help determine your eligibility for the programs that we have listed on the slide, and we're going to talk about them: grants, work study, and loans. We're going to go in detail when we get down to show me the money. But in essence, this is the very first step for those of you who are going to college, and we hope that all of you are. The free application for federal student aid, this is the first step, and it is required if you would like federal assistance. This is your form for completing it. Now, this FAFSA form, I did not ship this out to you because this is our paper form, and you'll hear about that in a moment. What you received was the FAFSA on the web worksheet, and you'll hear that many of our students are completing the FAFSA on the web. Very few students actually complete this paper form, and we'll be talking about that throughout our presentation. Yes. Okay, I've been asked to ask you to please mute your microphones. Some of you, I'm not sure which one, but we are getting a little feedback. So again, that FAFSA helps us determine your financial strength, and it'll go through and it'll calculate what is called an expected family contribution. How much can your family be expected to contribute towards your education? And we're going to talk about that. Now, before you get started with completing the free application for federal student aid, we strongly recommend that you have these documents that we have on the slide available: your Social Security card and number. That's for you and your parents. In order to receive federal student aid, you will have to report that. In my 21 years, I did actually have one student who actually showed up on my campus, and his mother had used her Social Security number for her son throughout his education, and here he is in college, and he didn't have his own Social Security number. So I tell that story because once you get to college, you will have to have your own Social Security number. We do verify it with the Social Security Administration, and if you don't have it, it's a real easy process to go down and get it. So parents will be asking for yours as well. You'll need your driver's license number. It's best if you have your 2009 W-2 form and any other income information when you start completing it. When you complete it, you want to be as accurate as possible. We ask that you have your 2009 federal income tax records. But, here's a but, we get a lot of questions. But what if I haven't filed my taxes? Many families don't complete the taxes until the actual deadline of April 15th. So we get a lot of questions. Should I go ahead and complete the FAFSA form, or should I wait on my parents? And my response, and you'll hear different responses based on where you are, but in my 21 years, I always tell the students to do what we allow you to do on the form. We allow you an opportunity to estimate. Let's pull up, if you hold up your, if you'll pick up your FAFSA on the web worksheet and turn it over to page 3. Take your handout, the FAFSA on the web worksheet, and if you'll turn it over to page 3, I just wanted to call your attention right down that third block. It says, did your parents file or will they file a 2009 income tax return? And this form we'll talk about, again, is ordered in the questions are ordered as they will appear on the FAFSA on the web website. So if you have a pen with you tonight, you can actually answer that question now, and you don't have to go back to that one. Notice that we give you an option to say that your parents have already completed their tax return, that your parents will file, but they have not yet completed the tax return, or you can even say not all families actually file a tax return. So you could actually respond to that tonight, and my whole point was to just show you that you can't estimate. When you estimate, many families use their most recent tax return, which would be the 2008 federal income tax return. Notice too, you'll also need to get your other untaxed income records available if you've received any child support, any current bank statements, because you will be reporting your assets and what's in your savings account. And then your alien registration numbers. You'll have to report that if you're an eligible non-citizen. So all of these things are recommended that you have, because we'll be asking you information from these documents when you start. So great starting point. On this slide, we talk about how do you file it. And you see here we have 3 formats to do it. I held up the paper free application for federal student aid. We don't encourage you to do this paper application. One, because it's 100, let me see how many questions are on here. 102 questions, and it's 10 pages long. When you complete the paper FAFSA or the PDF FAFSA, it takes 4 to 6 weeks to get the results back. Sometimes you don't have 4 to 6 weeks, especially if you're starting late in the process, but hopefully if you're here tonight, you'll hear that you need to go ahead and get started now. We recommend this electronic FAFSA on the web, and that's what